Hello. Welcome to our 2026 Virtual Apprenticeship Showcase. This is our annual virtual showcase that we do for our apprenticeship program at Texas Folklife. And it's a celebration of Texas artists who are mentors and apprentices in our programs. They are working to preserve the living traditions across the state, whether it's music, dance, visual art, or a variety of different traditions. In case anyone's wondering who I am the director of the apprenticeship program, and I have been in dialogue with our 7 apprenticeship pairs who have been working together, having lessons, sessions in their studios to create artwork, and just generally passing on the folk and traditional arts throughout the state. So today we're going to have 5 groups that will be joining us to share their work on this live stream. We'll witness presentations, performance videos, and live conversations with mentor and apprentice pairs, providing us with an opportunity to learn more about their artistic practices. And today we're going to kick off with Rocio Landol Ramirez and Cecil Pacheco. Rocio and Cecil are 2 artists from Waco, Texas. Rocio specializes in Mexican cartoneria sculpture and has been a mentor in our apprenticeship program several times. Cecil is a multidisciplinary artist and has been learning cartoneria sculpture with Rocio over the past few months. Today they're going to share a little bit about the process of creating the Cholo Escuincle sculpture for Dia de los Muertos that is coming up in Waco, Texas. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Rocio and Cecil.
Have a QR code if you just wanted to follow along separately on your phone, and yeah, just available for you. But what I did this summer was I learned to do a cartoneria sculpture. It's a lot like paper mache, but we use specifically cardboard, and it's definitely different and very available, especially with how busy our Amazon and our delivery personnel are. So it was really fun to create a choloscuincle, which is a Mexican dog, which is here on the next slide. Yeah, so they looked at the cholo, and we picked the cholo because it's one of the oldest dogs in the Americas, and it's also written that they had a very, very close bond with the cholos for the Indonesia for the people there, and it was really interesting, and they're super cute and hairless, which is very interesting, which made the sculpture a lot easier, not having to use too much hair. But yeah, Los Quinkle comes from the Nahuatl language, which is one of the original Aztec languages. And yeah, it's one of the most honored companions in the Mexican culture, and they are our spiritual guides. So when we are to pass away, they to the afterlife, and build a very, very loyal, and we have a remembrance with them in that way. Here's just a really cool picture of the Cholo Squinkle that are found in the caves, and they have their own burials too, just like our lovely pets that we care so much about. And yeah, we made sure that all of our sources and all of our information coming about the cholo and our design. Here you can see that we used designs from the pre-Columbian Mexico, and on the right, we sketched out this beautiful flower design that we picked from the book. And, you know, just to always go back to the roots and where it comes from, and having that accuracy, and not having it too available and too open for you know, expression. We would like it to be very true to the art and how they flowers back in the day. It's very interesting and very beautiful too. Here we have Rocio. She was the one that taught me the importance and the history of cartonería, and just how expressive and how big you can go with just simple water, flour, and cardboard, and just how recognizable it is, you know, used for piñatas and a lot of alebrijes, and, you know, especially the skeletons used for Day of the Dead. And on the next slide, I have Rocio, very famous and popular in Waco, one of our local artists here. And I'll let her take it away, but she is in charge of Dia de los Muertos, is a traveling ofrenda, and she hosts this here downtown. And for this year, we're going to add our lovely cholo that I worked so hard into this ofrenda, which, you know, we just add it here, you know, with me, but I'll let her share a little bit of that.
Hello. Okay. Cecil explained very well all of the about the cartonería, but for me, when I start a workshop, is very important to make a research, because when we make a research, we know about the object we made. And in this year, I decided to create the Shoal Squinkle because it's very ancient dog, but this dog was very important for the ancient cultures, because the Sholo is a company to the people alive, but it's a company when pass away, and it's the archaeology people found different or many entierros. How do you say entierro? Tombs with the owner of the dog, but the dog is next to him, and the beliefs is the Sholo is a white and make a company in all our trip to the inframundo, and is the reason this year I decided to working with the Sholo sculpture, because I like to show the people about the importance of this dog, and I think I hope the people enjoy a lot the show. But is in general, this year is our 16
Or 17. or 17th this year will be the annual ofrenda.
Ofrenda.
Yeah. And I thought it was very interesting to have a guardian, of course, and especially the cholo escuincle that is known to be that guardian between our lives here and the afterlife. So I thought it was very appropriate and definitely something that was missing in the ofrenda. And here you can see we have like a small little version of our ofrenda. This is an example of the decorations and now 2 years later, last year already, the ofrenda was fully packed with photos, with memoirs, with even music sheets by people that passed away that were musicians, and maybe their students came and it was a certain song that felt really close to them, and as a thank you and remembrance, they would have these items on top of here, the ofrenda. And so, yeah, we're missing a little guardian dog, which is our cholo. And so here we're going to be looking into our cholo, something that you don't really get to see what happens before, the final product, which is our cholo. So here I just took a really fun picture of the studio where I worked at with Rocio, and I saw this as my second home. So I should have asked for more spare keys, but anyways, I loved coming here. This is where I spent most of our time, and a lot of time studying and measuring our cholo, how tall we want it. We had to do our research on the average, how big are the ears, female, male, and all sorts of fun stuff. But what was interesting too was I had to do the research that before the sculpture, before I can start tearing away cardboard, I had to work with wire and clay to really get the understanding of the shape and looking at the dog in a three-dimensional and full scope to have a full understanding, because it's very, very hard to look at a cholo from a computer screen as references and having all different sorts of expressions and then having it to be three-dimensional was pretty hard. So having to slow down and going into looking at even just the eyes of the cholo really made a huge difference on changing my perspective on how to look at everything on a normal basis. So yeah, this was one of the clay sculptures that I made, and here you can see how the small wire sculpture is looking up at what's underneath the final sculpture. So it was a huge and super essential in the details. So every inch of the small sculpture was 10 inches or 10 centimeters of the larger sculpture, and moving in that way was able to kind of be able to have accurate elbows in the right places, having the right belly in the right direction as well. So just kind of looking into that actually helped the main sculpture go a lot faster once we got over the first part, which was measuring the wire and kind of just getting the bones of the sculpture. Excuse me. Here I took a few little fun pictures. She's using a heat gun to melt and bend the PVC pipe that you see here, and the chicken wire to help fill in the space and, start building the cardboard on top of that. This is underneath the sculpture, so this is very important. The French braid of the wires, yeah. it's major in the way to support the body here. Just like the human body, it is the foundation to hold it all together, to determine its proportion, and to really get the movement correct on how we want the cholo to appear. What's the presentation like? What's its attitude? Is it tired? Is it proud? And so on and so forth. So really looking at the lines of the sculpture was something that we focused on a lot. To get to this point where we have the wire and the chicken wire, we spent about 120 hours, which was a lot. Fun fact, it takes 1 entire hour just to make engrudo, which is a glue paste, which is just flour and water, but just stirring it nonstop for an hour. It's very tedious work, so truly every single cartoneria sculpture that is made with engrudo is very tedious and truly made with love by hand, just to make that. So took a lot of respect into the work.
And we prepare the engrudo 1 day before because it's really hot, and we need it waiting to the engrudo is cold. That is 1 day before.
Right, so it does need to be prepared the day before, which is very important as well, because it needs to cool off at a very natural, slow rate. So that was very important for the, stability and the strength of the paste. So here we can see adding the first layer of the cardboard, which is exciting. It looks really funky, but this is where we use the inside of the layers of cardboard, the nice zigzag. That helped a lot of the fillings just to kind of get to the point before we get into the smaller, thinner strips of cardboard that ultimately smooth these out. But ultimately, to get there, you have a lot of layers to smooth out those lines. So here I thought this was just a really cool, fun point of view of this is after 3 layers of the cardboard. And slowly here we go, the cute little cholo. We used marble, just did a fun tape behind the eyes, just drew a little black circle, and we have a dog with pupils with a lot of expression. So just our cardboard, a lot like pasta. You gotta dry, you have it dry, you get it wet, you get to peel it off, you gotta get it dry, just to get it wet again with engrudo to get dry, a lot like pasta. And then you kind of turn it into something like this. This is, again, maybe after the 3rd and 4th layer, we start adding base, we start adding some of the major lines and muscles into our cholo. So just as like I said before, those artists are so expressive. The colors was very interesting. I thought they're almost as grayish, purple, gray, black, really fun color of cholo. Here's another fun point of view of cholo. She has some fun hair. If you Google the cholo squinkle, some of them just have the funniest mullets you can find for anyone that wants to be inspired. And yeah, it took us about 365 hours to get to this point. Her little hair, her big ears, the ears that were used to help the hunters point to where the deer or sounds were coming from. And also with them being hairless, it did help the little young ones too to maintain a certain heat point. So their children death rates were quite low. So that's a fun, interesting fact. And so, and then underneath too, we made a mosaic out of beans, and just to give her a permanent platform that we thought was appropriate for her. So here we have, yeah, just the history and using the original stamps and designs of Mexico, and using those lines and designs to build the cholo. And so we'll be presenting her October 29th here in Waco, and the Elm Avenue is just available all day and night. People can come and go as they please. Typically on the weekends at after 6:30, there's maybe a movie playing for the kids to enjoy with food and snacks available, but it's just open and free. It's for everybody, all ages, and a really nice way just to slow down, take pictures, and get to know other people that may know your friends as well. So and to see our little cholo. So this is the address and the dates when we're gonna have that available. And that's the end of our cholo.
Okay, we need to show the sculpture.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and get this.
You want to just like show the sculpture? Okay, I will leave.
There you go. And what's really fun too is she can be removed from her platform just to make it easier for traveling purposes, but also to minimize her from being knocked over from her sitting position.
No sé si puedes agregar un poco y enseñar su cara, subir la compu.
Yeah, and here I'm going to do a quick close-up, so don't mind my shakiness here, but here's just a little bit of a close-up. She's beautiful. She's sassy. She's been through a lot, but she's super tough and very beautiful.
All right, thank you, Rocio and Cecily, for sharing.
This now, something like that. I'm excited.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you say a bit about what that is? What is that small thing that you just shared?
Yeah, so we used the small wire sculpture, this little small one, to really understand where the weight was going to be heaviest, because what's really the cholo is that its behind is actually not touching, so they're lifted bums. So having to figure out the weight distribution, we had to kind of have fun with the wire and really understand that, just so that once we got into the weight of putting layers and layers of cardboard, it wouldn't bend and be too flexible and ultimately ruin at the end. We wanted her to be sturdy and forever. So, so we wanted to make sure she had strong bones, basically.
I had no idea, but that was a consideration. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that, and for sharing more about your process. And again, so those of you who would like to check out Rocio and Cecile's sculpture in person, can you tell us again the dates for the event?
Yeah, so just like we do in Mexico every year, Day of the Dead. Typically, they celebrate it on October 31st through the 2nd of November. But we like to do it a little bit early. But it starts October 29th through
Okay.
November 3rd. So a few days before and a day after the typical annual, Day of the Dead celebration.
Yes.
We have it available in Waco downtown. Of course, it's something that we do every year, so you can always just Google it. It'll be available on the Waco Trib, any of those classic Waco outlets. Since she's been doing this for 16 years now, going for 17. So just kind of looking it up, it'll happen again. So she's pretty famous on Google too. So just she's a quick search and it won't take you too far.
But we keep the ofrenda for a week because it's a big installation. I use 150 pallets to make the structure, and I start 1 week before. I need 1 week when end the ofrenda. We need 1 week more to clean all and keep all of the props and the ofrenda. But 1 week is very good because the students have the opportunity to come and visit the ofrenda, and the students from Baylor, the university, come in, and some teachers decide, or professors decide, to make a class in the ofrenda because it's in the land, and they really enjoy. And it's incredible because another people, to special kids coming to look in the ofrenda, and different groups of people, or students, to they used to have a degree and teacher's degree. The group come in, and I explain about the ofrenda every year. And every year they come in because say, what do you do this year? And every year I prepare different elements for the ofrenda. The
Yeah.
ofrenda is very important because part of the ofrenda, pre-Columbian ofrenda, this is very important element for the pre-Columbian ofrenda, because the celebration for the Day of the Dead is the origin is from the ancient people. They celebrate the day of the life and the dead, but when the Spanish came to Mexico, changed the ritual, and it's a they made modifications because they need to impose another religion. But really, this culture is very, very strong, and they celebrate the celebration of the day, the life and the death, because it's the moment when they get the harvest and offering, to say thank you for the harvest, and thank you for the life, and they say thank you to our ancestors. We stay here, and it's really very, very, very important the people know about the origin of this celebration. Is the reason I put my attention in the pre-Columbian ofrenda.
Yeah, if you want to truly encapsulate everything that she said, you have to be there. And luckily, you have it for a week. So, and it's open, so you could just drive by, check it out, and it's massive. Those pictures from 2024 just, of course, will never do its justice. Our way of describing it is just not enough. until you're there. So luckily, it's just whenever you're free, whenever you want to take the break, it's available for you.
All right. Thank you, Cecile and Rocio, for joining us and sharing everything. As somebody who has seen the dog in person, I can say it is very realistic. So thank you guys did a wonderful job. All right. Well, now we're going to prepare for our next group here. So our next group, Beatriz Lopez and Paola Ward, both based in Austin. And Beatriz and Paola are both artists, dancers, and musicians based in the Austin area. They met in New York City through Bulla en el Barrio, a project focused on bullerengue in New York City, and later formed Bulla in Austin, here in Austin, Texas. Bulla in Austin is an effort to open a space to explore bullerengue, tradition from Colombia that is based in drums and voice. It's an Afro-Colombian musical expression, and you'll get to see what it looks and sounds like in their video, which we will turn to next.
Mañana por la mañana y mañana por el día ando recogiendo flores para la Virgen María. Óyelo mamá, mamá, óyelo mamá, te estoy llamando.
All right, that was Beatriz Lopez and Paola Ford, who are also here with us live. Hi, Paola and Beatriz.
Hello, I'm Paola. She's Beatriz.
Thank you for joining us. So, yeah, can you tell us a little bit about this clip that you shared with us?
Okay. We were for 5 months. I think this was a apprenticeship for 5 months, and this is the end result. I didn't know how to dance at all. I grew up in Colombia dancing cumbia, bambuco, different genres, right? But bullerengue was not familiar to me. So I was never able to dance because it has a very specific moves. So I I'm very grateful for Beatriz that was able to do this mentorship and Texas Folk for the support, because now I feel like I can do this and I can continue the tradition here in Austin, Texas. And Beatriz gonna tell us a little bit more about this specific dance that we did, which is bullerengue sentado. It's like one of the rhythms of the bullerengue.
Yeah. Hi everyone, thank you for Texas Fall Live for doing this. Once again, I'm Beatriz Lopez, and start enjoying bullerengue back to 2015, 2026 in New York. The drums call me, and I just follow my heart to know more about this amazing music, Afro-Colombian music. Even though that I'm from Colombia, I didn't have the opportunity to hear about bullerengue or so back in 2016 in New York, I have the opportunity to met this group called Bulla en el Barrio. And the amazing part of this was Bullerengue's community. So you don't need to have for dancing, clapping hands, and call and response, have like a background in music. So that was, I fall in love because finally I was part of a community of music without feeling that because I'm not a musician, I can be part of that. So Bullerengue is that. Bullerengue um, is traditional Afro-Colombian music from the Caribbean coast. Um, it's part of they call it like bailes cantados. It's like how you translate that? Like sing dance.
Yeah, I mean, there's no translation
Yeah.
for that. Yeah, there's no translation.
So it's pure like African root because it's like call and response. So everyone enjoyed the leader. So she calls, you respond, and then clapping, and then the magic of the drums is make you feel in a trance, and all the community start like singing and dancing around the drums. Um, for me as a not living in that area in Colombia, it's been important to connect with people that know about this tradition. So I learned closely with some maestros at New York, but also I have the opportunity to travel um, Colombia, Maria La Baja. That's one of the regions that has bullerengue over there, and learn also with other maestros like Seferina, Pabla Flores, because this community is open to share with you the knowledge. They love to for them the most important part is that if you feel that call that come from the heart, you welcome to the community. So that's what I'm trying to do when I move back. When I moved to Austin, Texas in 2018. I moved with my husband, that is a drummer as well. He's a musician, but he was part of the project. So try to bring that seed here in Austin, Texas, and share with the community what we learned for years, and trying to connect people with the drum, and and yeah, and try to open a space for a community to let's say heal or liberate their body and their soul through the music.
Thank you for that. I'll ask one question to Paola. For you, what was the most rewarding part of doing this program with Beatriz?
Wow. I can list several things, but I'm just gonna go for the top, and I think is the connection with my feminine power. That's something that I didn't know I needed actually, and that disconnection that we have with our body is what was not letting me dance. So learning that I own my body and the resilience that the maestras actually teach you, and that you can feel and hear and see when they dance, they move, the way how they move their bodies. The maestros are, I don't know, 80 years old, and the way how they move their bodies, like they own the vessel. So for me, learning that this is a vessel that I can, that is mine, and I can like foster and nurture that power. It just changed and blew my mind because I just didn't know I couldn't dance before. I couldn't, and I didn't know why, because I'm from Colombia and I've been dancing all the rhythms, but this one in particular I couldn't, and it was because of that, because I had a disconnection with my body. So I will say that bullerengue, and especially these rhythms are, it's like feminine led, right? And it helps us as women to empower ourselves. So I would love in the future to see Betty leading workshops and helping us and teaching us how to connect with our bodies, and bring this message of resilience, of independence, of life, because it's just bring your body to life again. And I'm just transformed after this experience.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. Anything else that you just want to share before signing off?
Anything else you want to add? Well, I just want to add that Bullerengue is an opportunity, and for us that we live out of the country and that we move from places, sometimes we feel that we don't belong. We feel disconnected. So it's always important to find places where you belong, and this type of traditions help you to reconnect with your roots. But not just that, just to actually feel that you belong, and that we all belong to something. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just follow that call, like Betty said with the drum. It happened to us that it was a drum, but it can be anything. So it's important to follow, and it's important to be part of the community, and feel that you belong, because we all belong.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right.
What I would like to add is, if anyone who's seen this can follow us, Bujan Austin. So right now we create this learning and practice space, but it's gonna be for Afro-Colombian percussion and rhythm. So right now, Victor Cruz is doing some workshops around the city about cumbia. He's talking about bullerengue, tambora. So it's an open space where you can start practicing, learning, and be close to the instruments and start feeling more close the music, especially for Colombian, and it's open for any other country, but like music that is uh, close to us, but sometimes you don't have the opportunity to even like
Experience it.
yeah, be next to that kind of instrument, because yeah, for distance or something, something else, you grow up without having the opportunity to play on this kind of African instruments, so Afro-Colombian instruments. So yeah, so you can follow us at Buja and Austin. You can have more information about what we're doing.
Great, thank you, both of you, for joining us. And yeah, so that was Booyah and Austin, if you want to follow them. And we're going to move on to our next group here. So our next apprenticeship pair is Genevieve Obregon and Matthew Guerra, based in San Antonio, Rio Grande Valley. Genevieve Obregon is a San Antonio-based flamenco dancer and educator. She started working with Matthew Guerra, who was based in the Rio Grande Valley, after his teacher Sonia Chapa passed away. And since then, they have been working together to continue to develop Matthew's knowledge of traditional dance techniques and flamenco. In the following video, we'll see Matthew sharing some of the dances that he has learned in his apprenticeship program. And that was Genevieve Obregon and Matthew Guerra from San Antonio / the Rio Grande Valley, specializing in flamenco dance. I do want to share an upcoming event that they shared with us. So Genevieve shared that there will be an event called Sol y Sombra, a special flamenco tablao in San Antonio on the evening of Friday, August 14th. And you can follow at Go Flamenca on Instagram for the details for tickets and location. So again, that's August 14th, Sol y Sombra in San Antonio. Okay, so Genevieve and Matthew were not able to join us for this Q&A, but I'm going to introduce our next group, which is Joey McKenzie and Tarpley, and they are based in Burleson, Texas. Joey McKenzie is an award-winning multi-instrumentalist, specializing in Texas fiddle. He's an award-winning fiddle champion. And Michael Tarpley is a young fiddler from the Fort Worth area who also specializes in Texas fiddle, playing styles such as bluegrass, and has been working with Joey to deepen his knowledge of the Texas fiddle tradition. They also are not here with us live, but they have shared a description for the video that you're about to see, which I will share with all of you. Old-time Texas fiddle traditions pairs master musician Joey McKenzie with apprentice Michael Tarpley for an intensive study of Texas-style fiddling. Through the hands-on learning and tune preservation, this collaboration showcases the distinctive sound techniques and rich cultural heritage of music. In doing so, this performance seeks to inspire listeners to gain a deeper appreciation for Texas-style fiddling and carry the tradition forward to future generations. And now I will turn it over to their video performance.
Hello, I'm Michael Tarpley. I live in Benbrook, Texas, and I play fiddle, and in particular Texas-style fiddle. It's been an honor to work with my mentor, Joey McKenzie, and the Texas Folklife Apprenticeship Program as a whole.
Yeah, it's been great working with Michael. I've always really enjoyed our lessons together, but the grant was a real game changer for both of us, you know, to be able to work together and really get to know each other better musically. And Michael's grown so much. His tunes are sounding great, and also he's able to learn the tunes faster, retain them better, and just really sure-footed with his playing. So that's always important. And so what do we got up here first?
Martha Campbell.
All right.
Here's a tune that my mentor Joey McKenzie learned off of the fiddle legend Benny Thomason. And I'd like to add that throughout this whole program, it's been a joy not only to learn these tunes on the fiddle, but also learn about the Texas fiddle style tradition that's come before me and the great fiddle players who have formed this tradition. So here's a tune called Rose of Avonmore. Normally when you go to a fiddle contest, you'll hear the fiddle players play 3 different types of tunes: a breakdown, a waltz, and a tune of choice. And most of the time, the tune of choice is something other than a breakdown and a waltz. And usually what is played is a polka or a rag. Today, I'm going to play for you all a tune that Joey McKenzie learned off of the great fiddle legend Dick Barrett, and it's called I Don't Love Nobody.
All right.
Thank you to Joey and Michael for that beautiful performance and informative video. And last but not least, we're going to move on to our final apprenticeship pair for tonight. We're going to have Juan Longoria Jr. and Ulysses Ulloa from Los Fresnos, specializing in conjunto accordion. And stay tuned after their video for a live Q&A. Juan Longoria Jr. is an award-winning Texas-Mexican conjunto accordionist, Fresno. He is a longtime collaborator of Texas Folklife and was the first ever winner of Texas Folklife's Big Squeeze competition. He has been working with apprentice Ulysses Ulloa, a student at Los Fresnos High School, on conjunto accordion repertoire. Ulysses has been learning theory and techniques as well as the history of conjunto in the Rio Grande Valley. And turning it to our final video, Juan Longoria Jr. and Ulysses Ulloa.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Juan Longoria Jr.
And my name is Ulises Ulloa.
And we're from Los Fresnos, Texas. And we're gonna give a small demonstration on Mexican-American conjunto music. But before we do that, we do wanna thank Texas Folklife for giving us this opportunity and for their continuous support year after year with all our beautiful cultures that we have here in Texas and Louisiana. So thank you, Texas Folklife, for everything that you do. Ulysses is one of my students at the high school, and we also work independently with the Apprentice Program. And we've been working on scales, we've been working on drills, and we're gonna demonstrate a couple of songs for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy. A couple of scales that we've learned throughout the process. We're gonna do some drills as well that we've been working on as well. Un, dos. 1, 2. 1, 2. We also work on some other drills, which is okay. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, we'll do the other one. We'll go slowly and then we'll gradually get a little quicker. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the goal is to eventually get there, work on your cleanness, your finger placement, your agility. So only time will get us there, and I know he will get there. He's a hard worker and he's gonna push himself through. And he's been doing great. He's been playing for less than a year. So props for Ulysses on that. We're gonna do La Totonilco, una polquita, and then we'll finish out with a huapango. in conclusion, we're gonna play a wapango called Coconitos for you guys, a traditional wapango. Is there anything you want to say, Yuli?
Just want to say thank you so much, Texas Folklife, for this amazing opportunity, for letting me learn this beautiful instrument called the accordion with this amazing teacher, Juan Longoria. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Texas Folklife. Take care. God bless. Los pedimos con este bonito guapanguito. A lo que dice.
Okay, that was Juan Longoria Jr. and Ulysses Ulloa, who are here with us live. Hi, Juan. Hi, Ulysses.
How's it going, Janelle?
Doing well. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So, yeah, to get us started, why don't you tell us a bit about the songs that we just heard?
The songs are we kept it to some traditional pieces, so he could just to keep the tradition going. Those songs, I know that Totonico's been, it's an iconic polka that a lot of people know. So the goal here was for him to do something that maybe he could play it for his family members, his parents, his abuelitos, his tios, and they would recognize the tune right away. And the same thing with the wapango. So, and within that, I'm not sure if you were able to see that some of the skills that we did, the drills that we did, we incorporated into the songs themselves. So, so he won't think, man, I'm just practicing and practicing and so we kind of incorporated those exercises and into the songs as well. So.
Great. So, Ulysses, can you tell me a bit about how you got interested in conjunto accordion and what this experience was like for you?
The reason I got into conjunto or into accordion was because when I was little, my brother joined conjunto with Mr. Juan Longoria, and I would go to his concerts and I'd always see him play the accordion. He would be on the mic, and it inspired me so much that I wanted to play the accordion just like him. And so here I am playing the accordion. This year I've made it to varsity, so hopefully I earned my spot there.
Congratulations. And what has been the most rewarding part of this apprenticeship for you, Ulysses?
The most rewarding part is that feeling after you get the song that you're learning. Like, you're having difficulty with that song, that specific song, and just having it over with, like, just learning it, I guess.
Sounds great. Juan, a question for you. What do you think was the most important thing for you to pass on to Ulysses in this program?
I mean, the discipline, now he knows if he wants to get it to sound a certain way. That he didn't have to work um, more on it, and that's part of being disciplined and independent work, and it goes for every trade. All the people that we saw today, they all have their skill set and their trades, and it takes practice to get those skills. So I think that's something that he knows now. Okay, like it's not gonna come easy. It's gonna take a while, but eventually I'll get there. So mm,
Thank you for that. Apologize.
that's right.
Um, well, yeah, thank you again for joining us, Juan and Ulysses. And I'm going to need a second. Excuse me.
No, thank you guys for the opportunity, and it means a lot on behalf of. I guess I could speak for myself, but I don't. Um, but maybe I'm speaking for everybody in general. Like you guys facilitate these opportunities for our cultures to continue, and not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of programs do that. So we are thankful for your for you guys always helping out, and making sure and just advocating for our cultures in Texas and Louisiana.
And we appreciate you passing on these traditions and taking the time out to work with young folks and just keeping the traditions alive. So thank you again, Juan and Ulysses.
Thank you.
And that is the end of our presentation. As we begin to close out this section, I do want to make sure to thank the Texas Commission on the Arts for their ongoing support of our apprenticeship program, and the Texas Folklife staff for support with today's showcase. Behind the scenes, we have our technical director for today's showcase, Lamont Jack Purley. And I also want to thank our communications director, Mariela Freire, who is also behind the scenes, making sure that we show up on all of the social media platforms and you can watch this video. So thank you, Mariela. And before we sign off, I also just want to give a shout out to the other apprenticeship pairs. So we had 5 pairs join us today, but there are 7 pairs in the program. So the other 2 pairs are George Demers and Carolina Rocho from the DFW and Austin areas, working on Puerto Rican Bomba. And they had their presentation over the weekend. They did a bombazo at Batch in Austin, which I was able to attend and had a great time seeing what they were able to accomplish in the apprenticeship program. On August 9th, we have Alex Meixner and Levi Burrows, our other accordion pair, specializing in polka accordion, and they are based in New Braunfels. And they're going to be playing at Wurstfest on August 9th at the Spass House at 2 p.m. So if anyone is interested in seeing some more accordion, make sure to check that out. And I do want to also mention Genevieve and Matthew's upcoming show on August 14th at in San Antonio, and you can follow at Go Flamenca, at Go Flamenca. Follow at Go Flamenca for more information on that. And lastly, Rocio and Cecile will present their Cholo Escuincle sculpture on November 1st and 2nd in Mexico at Dia de los Muertos event. So yeah, with that, I'm going to sign off. Thank you again for everyone who joined us today. And you can also see on the next screen a little bit more information about some of the events I mentioned. But with that, I will say good night.